He's fair.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
And I apologize for the issue that happened.
He's honest.
He said, she said, she said,
It
he
is a
said.
he said, she said situation.
Let's stop right there.
He's also a no-nonsense judge.
I want facts.
All rise.
It's now time to enter the courtroom of Judge Junior, the People's Judge. On today's edition of Judge Junior.
That's not a mess. What's a mess to you? A hurricane?
No, that's not the mess. That's decent.
That's decent.
Yeah.
The plaintiff, Chad Myers, is suing the defendant, Tron Fisher, in the amount of $2,551.05 because he claims the defendant was throwing wild parties when he was supposed to be house sitting. According to the defendant, he claims the plaintiff told him to make himself at home. It's time for the hot seat.
I asked this guy to watch my house when I'm in the hospital, and he completely trashes my place, and he thinks he's not gonna pay. Well, he's definitely gonna pay.
I watched after this guy's house for 30 days for free, and now he brings me to court. What kind of friend is that?
All rise. Please remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Stephen Monero, Jr. presiding.
Okay, Mr. Myers, you're suing Mr. Fisher, $2,551.05. Tell me why.
Your Honor, I met the defendant after recently moving to town. Didn't know anyone, so I joined a motorcycle riding club, something I like to do.
Is that where you met him?
Yes,
We
yes, Your
shouldn't
Honor.
let him in.
What?
We shouldn't have let you in.
Are you the president of this club?
Vice president.
Well, you're not the president, and you can keep quiet for now.
And it really doesn't have anything to do with it.
Go ahead and talk to me.
Okay, so I didn't know anyone in town. He was the closest thing I had to a friend. One day, I'm riding home from work on my motorcycle. I have an accident, which never happens, Your Honor. I'm an excellent motorcycle rider, never been in an accident.
Well, sometimes it's the other person.
Yes, exactly.
He needs training wheels.
What does that? Come on.
Mr. Fisher?
I'm an excellent.
Your Honor.
I'm an
You need to
excellent
keep quiet
motorcycle
for now.
rider, Your Honor. Actually, I've seen him
Okay.
go down a couple times.
Relax, Mr. Myers.
Okay.
Just go ahead and focus in on me and tell me what happened.
Yes, Your Honor. So, I got messed up pretty bad. Had to go to the hospital. Had a broken leg, a broken back, a concussion.
And he said he can ride.
Sir.
Mr. Fisher? Okay, the way it works is I'm going to talk to the plaintiff. And if you're lucky, I'm going to talk to you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
So, because he was the only person I knew in town, I called him. He came down to the hospital, which I do appreciate. It was nice of him to do that.
Sounds like it was.
Yes, and because of that, I thought, okay, maybe I can trust this guy because I need someone to house sit while I'm in the hospital because I don't know anyone else.
Okay.
I have a dog that has to be fed. I have appliances being delivered because I just moved in, cable companies coming, stuff like that. So he agreed he would. I said, thank you very much. Make yourself at home. You know, mi casa es su casa.
So what happened? Why are we here?
Well, when I get out of the hospital, I go home, and my place looks like a crack house. There's trash everywhere. There's beer cans, bottles. It smells like alcohol and smoke, lots of different kinds of smoke, if you know what I mean.
Let me ask you something, Mr. Myers. Do you have any family?
Not in town. They're all in Alaska, which is where I'm from. I'm here by myself. I don't know anyone, which is why I asked him.
No other friends?
No, he's the closest thing to a friend I have, and he's not a friend.
Now he ain't got no friends.
Mr. Fisher. Hold your tongue. Now, you've heard of a dog kennel, right?
Your Honor, I also had the cable company coming. I thought he was a decent
Well, who's
guy.
going to watch TV when you're in the hospital?
I thought I could trust him. I realized in hindsight I made a mistake.
Okay,
He's not-
stop right there. Mr. Fisher.
Yes.
Mr. Tron Fisher.
Yes.
Are you a good friend of this man?
I was to Mr. Uptight and White.
No.
There's no need for any derogatory or racial slurs here, sir. That will get you kicked out of my courtroom.
I'm just telling the truth.
No, you're just being derogatory, and I'm not going to stand for it.
Yes.
So let me ask you again, are you a good friend of the plaintiff?
I was.
Okay, so what happened?
Look, he was in the hospital. He can't ride a bike, as you can tell. I watched his house. He said Mukasa, Kusasa, wherever that French word is. And I was like, all right, cool. I said, what do it mean? He said, my house is your house. So I treated his house like my house.
Which is a bunch of smoke and dirtiness and a big disaster area.
No, it wasn't a bunch of smoke. It was just, casual smoking. You wherever
Casual smoking.
Yeah.
Your Honor, my house was completely destroyed. I had to hire a cleaning company to completely sanitize, which he agreed to pay for. When I called him up, he
I went to pay
acknowledged.
the red light.
Gentlemen, everyone needs to calm down. We're in the present moment. Let's pretend like this didn't happen 8 seconds ago. Did you agree to pay for the cleaning bills?
Nope.
Okay. Let me ask you something, Mr. Myers. Did you offer him any compensation for watching your house?
Nope.
No.
Mr. Fisher,
Judge is not going to tell you again. Okay.
Yes, sir.
it's very easy for me to dismiss you from this court, Mr. Fisher. Mr. Myers, did you offer him any compensation?
No, Your Honor, I didn't. I thought he was just doing it to be a nice guy.
So a nice guy you just met, you're gonna have him watch your dog, make sure your appliances get in there, et cetera, for a month and not give him anything?
I told him he can make himself at home. I mean, there's
Mukasa,
snacks there,
Mukasa.
and that doesn't mean completely destroy my house and eat all my food. He ate $500 worth of king crab legs I had in the freezer. Your Honor.
$500 of king crab
$500
legs?
from Alaska, where I'm from. I had them shipped right before I went to the hospital.
You like king crab legs?
Now I do. You should have tried them. The butter and the garlic they had in there, Your Honor, you need to try it.
Mr. Myers, do you have any evidence, receipts?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. I have photos of my house, of my car, which he demolished as well. He put 5,000 miles on my car. I
can't
didn't say
prove that.
anything about him even touching my car. He put almost
you didn't
5,000.
tell me anything about-
Husasa, the Italian word he used.
Mr. Fisher, if you have one more outburst before I ask you to speak, you will be dismissed.
Coming up on
Never said
Judge
anything
Junior.
about my car. My car keys were in my bedroom. I don't even know how he found them or what he was doing in my bedroom.
Were you sleeping in his bed, Goldilocks?
You're watching Judge Junior. We're back with the case of Chad Myers, who is suing Tron Fisher for trashing his home when he was supposed to be watching it. Mr. Fisher was told, "Mi casa es su casa," and he doesn't feel responsible for anything.
If you have one more outburst before I ask you to speak, you will be dismissed. You know what happens if you're dismissed? Mr. Myers, Deputy Brown, please collect
I
the
have
evidence.
receipts here from the house cleaning service, the
knows,
car
knows.
cleaning
Yeah.
service.
You got it.
Thank you, Deputy Brown. Looks like we've got some cigarette burns in the car
I'm an Uber driver now because of his car.
because of his car.
Yeah.
So
And-
what is this, a 50-50 split?
No.
So
He was in the hospital.
You're using his car. You think you should get all the
Mukasa
compensation?
Husasa. the
Okay, a
Italian
car is
word
not a
he
casa.
used. It was at his house, and my house is your house.
Your Honor, I never said anything about my car. My car keys were in my bedroom. I don't even know how he found them or what he was doing in my bedroom.
Were you sleeping in his bed, Goldilocks?
Where else am I supposed to sleep at?
I don't know. Maybe on the couch. Here's what I want to know. Did you inform him to not eat the king crab? Did you tell him not to drive your car? Did you offer him any compensation? Did you tell him he could not have friends over? Did you make all these things explicitly clear to the defendant?
No, Your Honor. I mean, it's just common sense to anyone like yourself.
Well, common
or anyone
sense is
else in
something
this
that the
room
defendant
if
may
you
be
just-
missing. So I'm asking.
Well, I realize that now, but that doesn't make me responsible.
Well, when you invite someone to stay at your home, that actually does make you responsible because you authorize them to be there.
Okay,
Mukasa
I realize,
Husasa.
Your Honor, I made a mistake. But that doesn't mean that I should have to pay for all of these damages.
A red light camera traffic incident.
Now, we
Yes.
don't know if that's me.
Your Honor, you can clearly see him
It's
in that
dark.
photo. He even
could
has
be
the Uber
anybody.
sign in the front
Gentlemen.
window.
So you're saying that, oh my goodness. Do we have a, for this kitchen, can we put the kitchen picture up on
See,
the
you
monitor?
can't even
Deputy
tell if
Brown?
that's me.
Sir.
You can,
Now let me ask you
that's
something,
my
Mr.
kitchen.
Fisher.
That's what I came home to.
Who drank all that alcohol?
Me and his new friends.
His
They're
new
not my
friends, he
friends.
wasn't there.
I know he was in the hospital, but he knew all the bikers that was there.
No,
Everybody.
So all
I
the
didn't know.
bikers came over and made that mess.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it
why
wasn't a mess.
That's not a mess. What's a
No.
mess to you? A hurricane?
No, that's not the mess. That's decent.
That's decent.
Yeah.
Is that what your casa
I don't
looks
have
like?
that much liquor, but he had a lot of liquor.
Now I have none.
Mr. Fisher, when you make a mess in your house, do you clean it up?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
But
After a month, would you clean up? Maybe make your bed?
yeah, Mom, but I didn't know when he was coming home. He didn't say.
But it had been a month. Didn't you think it was about time to maybe clean the place up?
I was Uber driving.
What,
when he
24
came
hours
home.
a day?
You can.
But did
if
you?
you need a lift, I can get you. I'm at 5 stars right now.
I find that very hard to believe. I saw the back of the car. I can't believe anybody
That's
could get in
when
there.
you get in my car, you can do anything you want to.
Obviously.
No, my
Customers
car,
always
not your
right.
car, my car.
Sir.
Mr. Fisher, there's a big issue here. It's called responsibility. Anybody ever teach you about responsibility?
Yeah, Mukasa Husasa, the French word he
Okay,
used
you
on
can
me.
stop saying these words you don't have any
French,
understanding
idiot.
of. I'm asking you about responsibility. What do you know about responsibility, sir?
I was responsible. I watched after his house, his ugly dog that
Is
he
his
didn't even
dog
touch.
still alive? Did you feed
No,
him?
I
know.
couldn't even find my dog for 2 days, Your Honor. And now he won't come from underneath the bed. He's terrified. He's been traumatized by what this guy was doing there at my house.
The dog was ugly.
Mr. Fisher, what do you know about responsibility? It's a lot of syllables, but tell me what you know about the word.
I was responsibility of his house and of his car, and I had to eat, so I loved his crabs.
Okay.
And I had to drink.
Okay, you didn't have to drink his alcohol. His crabs.
It was there.
It was there, and he did say
My
to make
house is
yourself
your
at home.
house. That's what he said.
Absolutely. So you treat your house like his house, which is your house?
Right.
You treat your house that way.
Yeah.
Mr. Myers, you really are not great at picking friends.
I made a mistake, but still, that shouldn't make me responsible for all the damages, the 5,000 miles, the red light traffic ticket.
Again, I'm wondering why you didn't decide to put your dog in a kennel.
I've learned a really hard lesson here, but still, he's responsible for that money. He's responsible for my food, for my house, my car, red light traffic ticket, all the miles. He's responsible.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Deputy Brown,
Yes, Your Honor.
dismiss Mr. Fisher. I've heard enough from him.
Yes, Your Honor.
Here's the issue. You said mi casa, su casa, and you didn't do any reference work as to how his casa is. But obviously, it may look a little bit like your house right now. It may look a little bit like your car right now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have Mr. Fisher pay for the cleaning bills. But I'm not gonna have him pay for the king crab. I'm not gonna have him pay for the alcohol he drank. I'm not gonna have him pay for any of the food he ate because you didn't make it specifically clear to him what he could or could not do. So, my
But, Your
judgment is
Honor,
for
I
you,
mean, anyone-
Mr. Myers, my judgment is for you, the plaintiff, in the amount of $1,000, not $2,521.05. Case closed.
Judge Junior has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay a partial amount of $1,000.
I can't believe I'm paying $1,000 for a good deed. What kind of friend is that?
I'm glad I at least got half of the money, but it's completely unfair that I didn't get the money for the king crab legs or for that red light traffic ticket. That's his responsibility. He owes me that money.
Still
She
to
has
come.
8 kids under her care, her and another aide, and she's watching him choke someone, and then, oh wait, I should go do something. That's unacceptable.
The plaintiff, Roberta Taylor, is suing the defendant, Stacy Picard, in the amount of $969 because her 2-year-old was bitten by another child at the defendant's daycare. The defendant claims she is not responsible because the plaintiff signed a liability waiver form. It's time for the hot seat.
My son is 2 years old. It should not be that difficult to watch a couple of kids. I don't understand how someone can bite my child.
I will not pay the medical bills for a psychopath mother who cannot control her own child.
All rise. Please remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Stephen Monero, Jr. presiding. All parties have been sworn in, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy Brown. You may all be seated. Okay, Miss Taylor.
Yes.
You are suing Miss Picard for $969 because your child was injured under her supervision.
Yes, that is
Tell me
correct.
about this.
I received a phone call in July saying that another child under her care had bitten my child.
July what date?
July 13th. And I came from work. I went to go pick my son up, and he had a large gash on his left wrist.
So you left work early because you heard he was injured and you
Yeah,
went to the
of course,
daycare.
absolutely. And I went, and he was bleeding from his left wrist. He had a gash. She said another child bit him. So I took him to the hospital and called and told her about the medical bill, and she refuses to pay them.
So he was bleeding, so no one had even bandaged him or wrapped him up or anything? He'd still
No,
been
he
bleeding
was
by the
bleeding.
time you got there?
Yeah.
Stop right there, Miss Picard. Is that true? The child was just left bleeding and injured all the time that the call was made and the mother actually came to the scene?
Well, actually, Your Honor, I did put a bandage on, and I was in the process of getting another bandage because that one was bloody when Roberta arrived, when Miss Taylor arrived.
So what happens? The kids just having free-for-all Royal Rumbles at your daycare? What's going on?
Seriously.
Not at all. Unfortunately, Your Honor, Maxwell, her son, is very rambunctious.
Rambunctious.
He's
Aren't
two.
all
He's two.
2-year-olds
Thank
rambunctious?
you.
Well,
He's 2.
it's He's a little more than that. I'm trying to be polite.
Well, let's just
out
be
of respect.
honest.
Okay, he's a nightmare,
Okay.
Your Honor. And the reason he was bitten was because he refused to share a toy with another little boy, and so he choked the little boy. He was choking the little boy.
He was
And
choking
He was
another child.
choking him. And as
Where
I was
were
on the other, I was on the other side, tending to 2 other children. By the time I ran over there to break them up, the little boy, to protect
Probably took
himself,
her a very
bit
long time to get there.
So
Maxwell.
this 2-year-old has the understanding and the dexterity to choke another child?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's no
That's
way.
a claim. Okay. So,
It's the truth.
okay, so the truth is, these 2-year-olds just run rampant, choking each other,
No,
arm locks,
not,
wrist
not
locks.
these
Biting.
2-year-olds. It's just her son, Your Honor.
Just
He's
her
not
son.
the one that
Well,
bit someone else. He's the one that got bitten.
Miss Taylor,
I apologize, Your Honor.
that is a wonderful point, though. If this child was, as you say, choking this other 2-year-old, he also must be a violent child in order to bite his arm.
Violent isn't the word.
Sir.
Well, he was protecting himself because Maxwell was choking this little boy.
2-year-olds protecting, choking, biting. Is this normal at your daycare?
You know what? It's not. I've never had a problem like that until Maxwell.
Okay. So this problem child, this nightmare comes in, and this is the first time this has ever happened on that day.
He has been unruly, but this day he was uncontrollable. Maybe she gave him too much sugar. I don't know.
Have you ever discussed with Miss Taylor about her unruly child at your daycare?
I did mention a few times that he's very energetic and he does not pay attention well. And she goes, "Oh, what kids, the terrible twos." And I was like, well,
He's two.
can you work with him a little bit more? Because he's not the only child. He doesn't seem to play well with others.
So energetic and not paying attention, though, isn't vehemently choking another child.
But he has violent outbursts, Your Honor.
But you
like
didn't tell
if he
her
doesn't
that.
get, if he does, I
Yes, he
did. I
doesn't.
said he's energetic.
Okay, energetic
It's
isn't
not violent.
violent.
I didn't. It's hard to say someone's child is violent.
Is it hard when the child is actually being violent to say the child's being violent?
Well, no parent wants to hear that. No parent believes that. Listen
You
to
should
how
tell the parents
defensive
that.
she
You
is
should have
now.
told the
I
other
did.
woman.
I said he was aggressive.
Okay.
He shakes the other
Now,
kids.
don't you think, in fairness to the other children and the other children's parents, if a child is acting up violently, it's more than fair to let the parent know this?
I absolutely
safety
think-
of everyone
Right,
else.
right. I didn't expect that. I have never seen him behave that way. It
So
was
he
like
was
he
never
was
been violent
possessed.
before that
not,
day?
Not like that. I mean,
Like
he's
what
been-
then? How had he been violent before?
He'll grab an arm or he'll pinch, and I was like, pinching? That's not right.
Is he the
You
only
know.
child that grabs and pinches other children?
All the kids are touchy and they tend to get a little emotional, but he's the only one where I'm concerned. He's like Damien a little bit,
Like
and
from The
I'm
Omen.
scared.
You're saying he's like the
Right.
kid from The
Which
Omen.
is
I'm
An
saying
actor.
that's
Thing.
exactly
That's not
what he
his
was
name.
like when he was choking that
Miss
child. I
Taylor.
was in shock.
Okay.
I literally was in shock, Your Honor.
So was he Damien before that day or just on that day?
He was Damien Light before that day.
Damien like, but you didn't say that. You just said
No,
energetic.
I said he's energetic. He's rambunctious. He doesn't pay attention. He doesn't follow rules and instruction. He's hard to control.
So
Can
did you
you
add all
work
these
with
on
him?
just now, or did you actually tell her all these other things
I
at the
told
time?
her these other things because monthly I give reports about what's going on.
Okay.
But she signed paperwork for me to take care of her child in January.
Which is
of last
customary,
year.
I'm assuming.
Right? Yes, it is. All the children that I take care of, their
Stop right there,
parents
Ms.
signed
McCart.
it.
Ms. Taylor, did you sign this?
I did.
Okay.
But I
what
still
did you sign?
I signed a liability form that releases her. But I still assume that she is going to be watching all of the kids.
How many
I
kids?
don't understand how this could have happened if she's watching the kids. And if my son did choke someone else, which he told me he did not, and I believe that he didn't, then
So
how
he
is
speaks
she?
well at 2 years old.
You ask a 2-year-old a question as a parent, they're going to respond to you. Yes.
Did you choke another child? You asked your child, and your child
Did
said,
you
no, I did
hurt
not.
the other child? Did you hurt the other child? You know, you break it down for
These are
them,
some
but
very
they're very
intelligent
still
and
smart.
aggressive children. Miss Taylor, hold on one second. Miss Picard, how many children do you watch at a time?
I watch 8 children are under my care, Your Honor, and I have 1 aide in addition helping me.
So what are the age ranges?
The age ranges are 2 years old to 6.
So no infants
No infants.
and no kids pretty much past the first grade.
Right, exactly.
And all these kids are playing together. There's no separation by age.
There's a little bit of separation because they also learn things like their colors and stuff. I
So
mean,
you're teaching
2-year-olds
them
are
as well.
different than. I'm sorry, what?
You're teaching them as well?
Well, basics. I'm not a licensed teacher, but kids at a certain age, they start to learn, and you want to work with them.
So how do you
like
work with
colors,
them?
blocks, drawing. Some can write.
Okay.
Playing with dolls, nap
now,
time.
So again, all the age ranges of all the kids,
Yes.
Damien, as you put it, is the only one who's going around choking other 2-year-olds and
Right,
just
he's
acting
the only one. He would.
rambunctious.
All the kids are kids. They like
That's
to have
correct.
fun.
They are all
They like
kids.
to play. But with him, it was always a little extra. There was always a tinge of meanness with it. And I didn't understand that. And you asked him, did he choke at 2? Did he understand what the word choke meant? Like I said, as an adult, I was shocked. I took a moment and then I ran over there because I
that's why
couldn't
he got
believe
bit.
it. And it was so.
What's up there, Mr. Card? Ms. Taylor, does he have any brothers or sisters?
No, he does not.
Do you guys watch violent television at home?
No,
Is there ever any fighting in the home?
no.
So how would he know words like choking?
Well, I said choke to you, but when you asked me, he's that intelligent that he understands it, and I said, no, I break it down for him. I said, did you hurt the other child? That's how I spoke to him. Did you hurt him? No, Mommy, I did not. He bit me, he bit me.
So that's what he said. He
And
bit me, he
even
bit
so,
me.
like, she has 8 kids under her care, her and another aide, and she's watching him choke someone, and then, oh, wait, I should go do something. That's unacceptable. 8 children and 2 adults are watching them, and something like this can go on. Are you sleeping? Like, what are you doing
Ms.
in the
Taylor,
corner? What, I don't understand.
I understand your frustration. Let's hold right there. Who is your other aide? Who helps you?
She's a college student. Her name is Amy Smith.
She's not here today.
No, she's not here today.
But you do have a witness here today.
I do have a witness.
Mr. Miles Perkins.
Yes.
Miles, please stand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
1 second, Miles. Can we get some evidence here today in this court? Did anybody bring any evidence to provide? For me?
Here's a copy of the accident waiver form that she signed.
Deputy Brown, if you could.
I'll just take the paper, man.
Oh, okay. Thank you. And so that waiver explains that I will be taking care of her child, but if anything happens, I am not held responsible.
And this
So-
was signed by you, Miss Taylor.
Yes, it was.
Okay. Mr. Perkins, why are you here today?
I'm here because I've known Stacy for about 12, 13 years, and I've been bringing my children there for about 6 years, and I've never seen any problems. Stacy has done a great job. She keeps
Were
an
you
eye.
there on the day of the occurrence?
Yes, I was. I was
So
there
you
on that
have
day.
seen those problems then?
Yes, I did see the problems of that lady's child. Okay.
Just the lady's child. Her child was bitten, so you saw it from another child as well.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay, but I walked in that day and I saw that child, and I don't know what it is with that
So did
kid.
you walk in right when this incident occurred?
Yeah, I happened to
You
just
did.
walk in. I was looking over there, and I saw her son choking him.
And what did you do?
Well, I was just like, I just couldn't understand. That child is so.
You couldn't understand what?
Well, I couldn't understand what's gotten into that child. That child is like crazy. It's like he's possessed, like a devil child.
Like a devil child.
Yeah.
He's 2 years old, sir.
Yeah,
Did you
I know
think
that,
to maybe
but-
stop him?
But
Did his
thing is, he was
devilness
choking him and then-
overpower you mentally to where you were just catatonic and could only just stare?
what happened was I walked in, and the child was choking him, and then the other child bit him just
So-
out of retaliation. And that's when I yelled, "Hey, Stacey, you
Right,
gotta get over there."
and I was on my way over there. Again,
On
I
your
took
way,
a moment.
are you guys
right.
have molasses on the ground? What's going on?
No, it happened within seconds, Your
Within
Honor.
seconds,
it wasn't
I walked
like
in.
it
I
wasn't
walked
like
in
a
and-
minute.
It's
It
not
was
like
Let's
I
do
was
one at a
3
time,
seconds.
please.
It was about 3 seconds. I heard
Okay,
the little
so
boy.
stop right there. 3 seconds.
Yes.
So 1, 2, 3, bite, over. That's how it happened?
No, when I walked in, they were already fighting. He was already choking him. Okay, he was already choking him, and then the other child bit right away. You know, I don't think it was.
And
3
everyone just
seconds.
sitting around eating popcorn and watching.
No,
this
no,
show.
not at all.
I had 2 other children I was attending to.
Attending to, but they weren't choking and biting each
No,
other, were
they weren't. So
They
then
were
I turned
behaving.
over because I heard the little boy yell, "Stop, stop, stop."
Her child-
And that's
Which
when I
little
turned
boy?
around. Right, the little boy.
Which little boy?
Oh, sorry, David. David
Your
was the
Honor,
little
can
boy
I say
who was
one more
being
thing?
choked.
I've known Roberta and her husband for years. I work with her husband, Peter.
What's the point?
The point is, that she's just very overprotective, and she keeps the child almost on a leash, literally
one
on a
wants a
leash.
child
If he was on a leash, then he wouldn't be biting and choking. Let's stop right there. Ms. Taylor, do you have any evidence for the court today?
I do. I have the liability form, I have the medical bills, and I have a photograph of my son's
Deputy Brown,
wrist.
if you would please collect the evidence.
Do you want all three?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we got the same liability form. Samantha's Care, that's the name of your establishment?
Yes.
Yes, that's good.
Yes.
Okay. Now, are you licensed as a daycare provider? I don't see that here.
Technically, I'm not licensed, but I've been doing it
Technically,
for
you're
years.
not licensed.
Wow.
I have been taking care of kids for years.
Taking
I'm
care
very
of
good
how?
of it. I
Choking
love
and
it.
biting?
No,
Taking
no.
care.
In all the years I've been doing this, I've
Illegally,
never had a child.
illegally.
It's not illegal. It's not illegal.
Parents are expecting you to have a license when they
no
give their
parent
kids.
ever asked. You didn't either.
Please. You are not licensed for Samantha's Care, which means that you are not legally able to take care of children. Does that clear? Do you realize this? Has this ever been brought up to you before?
No, no parent has ever asked me for a license,
Okay.
and I never told them.
Well,
I
let
had
me
one.
bring it up to you. It is illegal to be the provider of safety and security of people's children, which you did not do without a license. Because of that, the judgment is for the plaintiff and the case is closed.
Judge Junior has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $969.
I may not have a license, but I still love these kids, and I'm not going to stop taking care of them.
I am in shock that she was running her daycare illegally, and I feel very fortunate that my son only got out of it with a scar.
Mi óptimo.
Careful.
Watching here.
Reloading.
Right here.
Bye.
Spike down A.
Standing ahead.
Enemy spotted A. Enemy in attack.
One enemy remaining.
Outrun me. Healing you. Reyna, time to hunt.
Need a drop.
Keep those heels coming.
Spike down B.
Spike spotted B. Be faster. Yeah.
One enemy remaining.
My ult's ready.
Last enemy taken out.
Watch them run. Gun here.
Hostile in sight.
Wall raid, healing you.
Multiple enemies B.
Duck. Stay down.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B. Ace.